Yesterday, I was flipping through the TV when I ran into an episode of Tyra. At that moment, they were playing a video clip of two fat men walking out of a train station. After the men had walked a couple of steps, the camera cut back to Tyra, who then asked one of the audience members what went through his mind when he saw the men. He took the mic without any hesitation and said something to the effect of, "Well, they're probably very busy, which is why I don't have time to work out." After which, our passive-aggressive Tyra offers her remarks on his answer. She says something like, "Interesting how we make excuses when it's men who are fat." Well, I don't know about the Tyra audience, but I call bullshit. Firstly, who in their right mind looks at any fat stranger, be it man or woman, and thinks to themselves, "Wow, that person must really be busy"? Explain to me how not having enough time to work out is an excuse for maintaining an unhealthy diet and becoming obese. Not chubby, not a little big boned, obese. Hell, even pizza places carry salads these days. In reality, the only excuse is either A, a medical condition, or B, recent childbirth, and I mean recent. Other than that, anyone trying to spin this, "I really don't eat that much, I don't know why I'm fat" bullshit is full of it. Me personally, I have no patience for fat people in general. That's not to say that you should seek to humiliate people just for the sake of it. And on that note, I agree with the rest of that episode, or at least the part that I saw. However, the fact that society cares more about women's physical appearance than men is not a true double standard, because men and women are not the same. So, they're not attracted to the same thing. And this is due to economics, not female oppression. See, behind every choice we make, there is a cost-benefit analysis. This is also the case when it comes to the people we choose to interact with. What does this have to do with fat women? Well, if you haven't figured it out yet, men use a cost-benefit analysis when it comes to women. And as it turns out, men generally would rather keep on looking than be with an overweight woman. On the other hand, women continuously pass up men based on the size of their wallets. This is common knowledge, except for people like Tyra. Except for feminists, who think that everything goes against women, who think that everyone's out to get them, who actually, if I'm going to speak correctly, don't think at all. This is complete stupidity. Do they not know Donald Trump? Do they not know why he keeps on scoring with these hot women? Look at the guy. It's the money. It's the money. It shouldn't have to be said. There shouldn't have to be studies to prove this. However, there are hundreds. One of the most recent ones was done by two psychologists and an economist. And what they found was the following. After analyzing 20,000 active users in dating websites such as Match.com, eHarmony, and Yahoo Personals, they found, for women, being overweight is deadly. Common knowledge. Everybody knows that. And they also found that for women, a man's income is terribly important. The richer a man is, the more emails he receives. There is a correlation between the amount of emails received and the amount of money a man makes. And these results weren't based on surveys. These results were not based on feelings or elaborate interpretations of data or bogus social experiments such as the many made by Tyra. This was just based on numbers, based on hard data, not emotions, no interpretation needed. Take the data, plot it on a graph, look at the outcome. This is further proof that when the rubber meets the road, women prefer men with higher incomes. So that proves it. There's no double standard. Get it through your head. Fat feminist women. Men will never be attracted to you. You don't have to cry about it. You don't have to go on talk shows and say how, "Oh, people hate you." Surely nobody should hate you. especially other fat women. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard of. But don't come to me saying there's discrimination against fat women because you're not on the cover of American's Top Model or whatever. You're fat. You're fat. You know what else? I'm not going to be on the 10 most eligible bachelors anytime soon. You know why? It's not because I'm not attractive or I don't look at least normal. I'm not rich. I don't have money. I don't have a nice car. I have a 1990 Prelude. You know how small that is? It's small. I have to open the sunroof to sit up straight. I'm not going to be the most eligible bachelor probably ever. And you, 40 pounds overweight, crying and eating donuts? I don't want to hear it. You're not going to be American's Next Top Model. It is not discrimination. You're not attractive to men. Get over it. I'm not attractive to many women. In fact, all the girlfriends I've had have been way poorer than I am. Does that play a fact? Surely. Is that the only reason? No. I imagine that they're not that shallow, and that comes into consideration along with the other things. If feminists insist on criticizing society for having any sort of negative views about fat women, then we must also stop and ban society from making fun of the proverbial man-child. Oddly, feminists and Tyra forget to include these men as victims. Don't they deserve our sympathy? After all, it's not like it's their fault that they still live at home at age 40, is it? The answer is yes. Or at least our society has decided that these men are solely responsible for their condition. Although it's completely possible that these men suffer of some sort of anxiety disorder or depression, these excuses are solely saved for fat women. So these men get routinely destroyed and made fun of in our media. If it is their fault, then shouldn't society also hold fat women responsible for their condition? Why should fat women get sympathy for their unattractiveness while another group, mainly men, doesn't? Why is it that in a society where it's okay to make comedies ridiculing unattractive qualities in men, see, for example, the 40-Year-Old Virgin or My Idiot Brother or every other single comedy out there has at least one character or two or three that are just unsuccessful loser men? Why, in a society where we see this in all the commercials, do we still frown upon making fun of unattractive qualities in women, as in fat women? Well, I'm here to tell you, feminists and women out there, us men, we're sick of this bullshit. So I'm making an announcement to all the women out there and all the feminists that men aren't going to put up with this anymore. If you don't like it, then lose the weight. There are enormous amounts of information out there, so look it up. Get on a treadmill and stop complaining.